Call me a Call of Duty minimap because I'm putting something on your radar right now. There is a Polish game developer who is going wumbo freaky mode. Apologies in advance for my terrible pronunciation of these names. I'm a tiny reptile brain idiot that can't quite get these accurate, but anyway. The head of Spectrum Studios, his name is Jacek Pierkowski, apparently had mandatory sauna sessions where his narrative girls, as he called them, which is really cringy Discord level shit, like his little kittens, he required them to go to saunas with him naked in order to write their scripts. Obviously a very weird thing to do. That's extremely creepy shit to require your employees to accompany you nude to a sauna. That's less than professional, I'd argue, but I'm not the Better Business Bureau. I have to wonder, can you do that? Like, can you have in your contract, like, hey, if you're going to be an employee here, I need to be seeing some titties. Sign here. Every Tuesday's titty day. So if you're not going to be showing me the honkers on Tuesday, you can hit the road, bub. Scram. That's the one stipulation. That just sounds super fucked up. But apparently that was the norm here at Spectrum Studios, so this whole situation got kind of blown up over the last few days, and I talked about it a little bit on stream, but couldn't find additional information on it, only like the very surface level stuff that came out through LinkedIn. So I'm going to show you the stream clips and then dive back in here with a more in-depth findings about this whole thing. You seen the wild Polish game dev drama? The creative director for Spectrum Studios is requiring employees to attend mandatory naked sauna sessions. Yeah, I actually made a tweet about that earlier. I'd never heard of Spectrum Studios, but now I'm very curious what they make, because this is some weird shit. It was on LinkedIn. So, here's the requirements. So just like normal stuff like providing art bible, assets, feedback. This is kind of cringe. Mentoring of Padawan. Ugh. Yikes. Ugh. Tip Fedora. Epic knowledge of Unreal Engine 5. Okay, I don't remember that one either. Yeah, it's just very embarrassing. But then this one. Attending sauna sessions, not negotiable. Entire team need to understand product, and it's naked sauna sessions. So on LinkedIn, got into an argument here with this potential employee. We've already exchanged a few messages in the comments here on LinkedIn, and for what you said, you consider naked sauna sessions a part of work responsibilities in your studio. I told you that's a deal breaker for me, and we've called it a day. Thanks for your offer, though. And then he goes, sure. Didn't recall your name. Is that with the team or privately? No, it's the whole team. The whole fucking football team. Honestly, I had a lot of time to prove me wrong to write a scene in a sauna without being in sauna and send it to Magda. Instead, we were wasting time on social media. My narrative girls had to go to a sauna with me and came up with an amazing script for proof of concept. Technically, it's possible to do it without, but I absolutely adore the fact that they could use their sauna experience to write awesome scenes. That guy needs to be investigated ASAP. I bet there's cameras in that sauna, at the very least. That guy's got his phone fucking perched up somewhere. So it sounds like he had his female employees go with him to the sauna, and they were nude in order to write a sauna scene. Which is, like, that's something that you see in movies and whatever. Not like that, but like going to a location to write about it. Like, I get that. But it's super different here. Obviously. Like, he's not even trying to hide it. This man's just nefarious. He's a fucking pervert. Man's a criminal. Is it even a real company? I looked him up and I can't find any of the games they've worked on. So maybe this is their first game and it's a fucking sauna simulator. I don't know. Now, believe it or not, the man, the myth, the Jelking champion himself, Jacek, stepped forward and actually created a video explaining his side of the situation on LinkedIn. It's in Polish, so I don't exactly know what he's saying, so I'm going to be relying on articles that have broken it down for me. But I would like to say that this is some of the worst framing I've ever seen for a video. He occupies like 5% of the screen, like the camera is pointed almost straight up, and he's coming in at the very bottom like fucking Skibbity Toilet here. I don't know why he wouldn't just put himself in the center. Now, the best breakdown of all of this comes from a website called GamePressure.com. This is the best one I found. And according to them, Piorkowski, our protagonist gooner here, has claimed that although visits to the sauna were indeed obligatory, there was neither a requirement to be naked in the sauna nor to be in it with the boss. But as mentioned in the article, it seems that nudity is unavoidable considering it's a fucking sauna, and that's kind of the norm when going to saunas, I suppose. I mean, you could probably take one look at me and probably speculate and accurately guess that I am not a sauna enthusiast. I don't frequent the sauna. I live in Florida. Going outside, I get that exact same fucking experience. So I'm just going to take their word that nudity is pretty common in saunas, and when I was going over this on stream, that's what stream was saying as well. So even though he's not requiring a goatsy or like a nipple inspection or something to ensure all of the employees are naked in the sauna, it is still implied by going to the sauna. At least that's my understanding of it. Now, the statement about it's also not required to be in it with your boss, I suppose he's also kind of right on, but you still accompany your narrative girls to the sauna? Like, that is clear? Like, that is actually stated? So even if it's not put, like, pen to paper that it's a requirement to be in it with the boss, you have still been going. Like, you have still gone. So that's kind of a moot point if you ask me. The article continued to explain what the project even is that requires the sauna experience in order to be the fucking preeminent expert on it. So it's called Project Temple, a game about a young woman with a broken heart who starts trying to become a sauna master. That's such a fucking weird concept for a game. Like, how do you even make something interesting out of that? Like, striving to be a sauna master? Like, this isn't fucking Pokemon. You're not gonna be, like, collecting gym badges like a Pokemon master. To me, that sounds like a fucking snooze fest. I'm just gonna be upfront with you here, sports fans. Like, I can't even imagine what the gameplay loop would be. Like, choosing the right rocks to put on the sauna stove, choosing the correct aromatic oils to fill the atmosphere with. Like, what do you even do with that? I imagine it's gonna be the only story. Like, maybe it's a visual novel, perhaps? I don't know. If I'm being totally honest here, if I had to spitball a guess, I really feel like this whole thing from the very start was designed as some kind of evil plot from Jacek to force women to go to a sauna with him. That's really what I think. I feel like that's the whole purpose behind this project, in his eyes. Anyway, going forward, we require going to the sauna as part of getting to know the environment and research. We also hold company meetings during sauna trips. That sounds like a nightmare. That sounds fucking miserable. Mandatory sauna trips with your boss and coworkers? Like, come on. Like, Jesus Christ. However, there's no obligation to be naked in the sauna or to be in it with the boss. If someone prefers to only attend women-only sessions or use the sauna individually and come to meetings just to chat, that's also fine. As the rules of proper sauna use say, in a dry sauna with a towel or naked, in a steam sauna only naked, there is 90% humidity there, you can't cheat physics. At the company meeting, the girls were doing peeling themselves. I don't care. I wanted them to understand what kind of emotions we create. Original brief. The protagonist of Project Temple is Birdie, a woman in her 20s/30s. She had her heart broken recently and she is moving to Warsaw to find herself again. What a pretentious explanation for this absolutely ridiculous requirement of your employees. The emotions that you create in the sauna, you need the first-hand experience to write about them, huh? The only emotion that's being created there is the fucking boss, Jacek here, getting cum brain. Like, that's it. Like, giggling to himself while doing this with his hands. Finally, I get to see naked women in person, and they can't say no, 'cause I put it in the contract. It just sounds so degenerate and weird. The article makes a mention there at the end, like, so this is the explanation for why they have to go to the sauna, because they need the experience to write about it. And the article says, one might wonder if a developer creating a military shooter should expect their employees to, like, enlist in the army in order to get the experience of it. And the answer is a resounding, of course not. Fucking no. Like, you don't need to be going to, like, frequent sauna sessions with your coworkers in order to write about a sauna. Everyone knows what you're going to experience in there. Hot, sweaty. And now you can write about everything outside of that and all the emotional bits. Like, you don't need to actually be there physically in person in the sauna with your creepy boss diddling his skin flute in the corner while you're writing about the sauna master game. There's also an allegation that came out here I hadn't heard of till reading this article, where apparently there's another scandal here involving the head of Spectrum Studios, where he's been accused of deliberately looking for people in a, quote, difficult situation because it might be more likely to wave red flags. And another individual named Natalia Wilzinska, I'm sure I absolutely ate shit on that pronunciation, also claimed that Jacek was lurking in artist groups on Facebook asking for samples of work with naked figures, and even posted some of the screenshots onto Twitter. Another really weird component about this is that Magda name that he dropped in one of the screenshots is someone named Magdalena Kuzinti. I know I butchered that pronunciation again, I'm sorry. And apparently candidates were instructed to contact them regarding the recruitment task, but Magdalena doesn't work at the studio at all. So it turns out Jacek was one of her students in a narrative design course, and it was during the classes that Magdalena gave him advice on the project. And furthermore, I'll just read directly, Jacek directed interested individuals to her, even though she'd not yet replied to his request on the manor, since she apparently doesn't use social media. And now she has come forward about all of this, saying like, what the fuck? She goes on to explain that Jacek was just using her last name without her permission, without her being like an employee of his or anything like that. She's another person who's been harmed in this matter. This whole thing is so fucking weird. Jacek sounds like an extremely creepy individual, and I don't know how this kind of requirement to work there isn't like an illegal practice, to say that your employees have to go to these sauna sessions. But yeah, I just had to talk about this a little bit. It's so fucking weird. That's really about it. So yeah.